Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. I am Stylosa, and this is Pro OverAnalyzed. Now, you probably think this is a bit deja vu, right? You just showed us London against LA Gladiators on King's Row. I did, but that was in the previous series. What we've got now is King's Row. This is the ultimate redemption arc kind of storyline for London. Can they win King's Row and beat LA Gladiators 6 consecutive maps on the bounce and go into the semi-finals? This is one of the most insane sort of reversals of fortune we have ever seen when it comes to Overwatch. Now, what we're going to do is break this down again in massive detail, like we are trying to do with Pro OverAnalyzed. Go more away from the very generic, basic sort of like, yeah, you know, this happened, so that happened, and really trying to break down what the teams are trying to achieve here. Now, one thing we've got to remember before we get into this is the score right now. Gladiators are 5-0 down, and I'm just going to take a drink. And also, one sec. I am sitting in, according to the temperature reading gauge on my air conditioning unit, 37 degrees. So if I say things which are incoherent, it's because I'm dying of heat stroke. My God, my throat's destroyed. I've just started the video. What is this? Okay, anyway, so it's the 5-0 down. The point here is London are, they've got a lot of confidence right now. Gladiators have been beat. It's not great. You're in your home stadium, effectively. You've got all your home crowd. It's not good. Anyway, let's take a look at what's going on here. Okay, I totally didn't have to just cut that because I started choking, ladies and gentlemen. Right then, so Shore4, a nice, cute little position he's got here. So normally the Widow would stand on the high ground with the team and try and get like a cheeky pick, like maybe fire through into the top spawn window, fire through into the lower spawn window. This time, though, he maintains his position here. This is kind of cute because what he's going to do is grapple up to that position as soon as the doors open and then try and get a cheeky kill. This means that London think like, well, where is Shore4? Is he back here? Is he over there? We don't know. It's like little cute things like that are nice to see, and I think they're nice. It's nice to highlight them as well because you don't really see that. So he goes back straight away there, tries to get a cheeky hit. At least that's what I believe he was trying to do. Obviously, he doesn't manage to get anything because this time London are not rolling out with the Farah like they did before, which got instantly killed. So, what is the plan here? Let's take a look at the team comps and let's explain the whole setup here. So, Bdosin is London's Zen player. However, he is playing on Tracer. Why is this? Well, the reason why they roll the Tracer is to try and flank, and get onto the enemy Widow. The reason you do this is if you are attacking the enemy Widowmaker, that means your Widow, your Hanzo, so your double snipers, should be able to just start attacking the enemy team without having to worry about the Widowmaker, because we are in the Widow meta, ladies and gentlemen, at the pro level. This means whoever has the best Widow generally wins the game. Now, what has been happening throughout this entire series, not just on this map, is London, as a team, have been controlling Shore4 pretty much completely. Like, it's been domination, and that's partly why London have been so strong in all these maps so far, because they've been shutting down the enemy Widowmaker in the Widowmaker battle. So we see this begin. Very simple, very methodical by London. Let's use the statue. Let's use the Orisa. Let's start to, just pile damage onto the enemy team. Let's just play it forward a little bit further. But you can see what's going on, right? If you look behind the statue, well, I think the camera goes to Tracer in a second. So this fight on the point is cool. It's fine. Look at this, right? This is huge. He will start crouching in a second so he doesn't get detected. Now, he actually showed a little bit of bad play there, Bdosin. Now, he's not a Tracer. He should have been crouching before he got there, or crouch walking. With Tracer, you walk, crouch, so you don't have any movement sound with your footsteps. Because Shore4 really should have heard him. Now, there's probably a lot of comms being shouted in his head, so it's difficult at times to hear what's going on. But now he's got a problem, right? Bdosin has managed to crouch behind him, and this should be a dead Widowmaker. Now, if it was a Sabiolbi, if it was a Prophet, if it was a Soon, Shore4 would be dead, but it's a Bdosin. He's not a high-level Tracer player, but he's done his job. All he had to do there is exactly what he's done. He's got in there, he's messed up the Widowmaker, so now she's having to think about him. Watch what happens in the kill feed now. How huge is that? You'll notice on the little mini cam, Bdosin started talking. That's him calling out the position of the Widow, and then Prophet just cleans it up. And this is huge. Like this, there isn't really too much to say about this. Obviously, it's a really great play. That's 4 kills from Fury. But that's like the good old Roadhog meat grinder. Everyone was forced into the corner. Let's Roadhog just go crazy. If you've got whole hog and people are in a small room, you're just going to whole hog them and you're going to literally kill them all. So what we're looking at now, as we pause this, is team comp swaps. Because the first attack is over. Now it's time to change the comp. What are we going to do? Well, Bdosin is not going to play Tracer, ladies and gentlemen, because he's quite bad. So he's going to play Zen, although obviously it worked in that Tracer harass the Widows setup, solo support setup. So he's going to now take on the mantle of the good old Zen, and he's a really good Zen player. Then what we've got here is Gesture going for the Monkey. Now, I think the reason for this is because they want to be highly aggressive. Now, you can still be highly aggressive with Reinhardt through this phase, but Winston kind of lets you get into certain positions where you can be kind of a bit more annoying, especially if you could maybe catch a Widowmaker out or something like that. So it's maybe what they're thinking. And I think Gesture is a better Winston player than a Reinhardt player, but I don't really think that's factoring into the decision making. We look at Gladiators, and Shaz obviously has dropped the hog now. He's going for the Zen. We've got Remix on the Reinhardt, and we've got Void on the Zarya. Now, Void is a phenomenally good Zarya player. So this where, if you're like a London fan, you're thinking, right, okay, so Void is decided to like, right, let's get serious. Let's go. Let's just start smashing face. Watch what London are doing, though. They take the top left. This gives their snipers a chance to do like a little bit of cheeky poke. Maybe they catch somebody, but they realise that Gladiators are really close already. So what are they going to do? How are you going to dislodge Gladiators from this mess? Well, look at Gesture. Gesture's gone into the back line there pretty aggressively, which wouldn't be possible with a Reinhardt. This is the key thing to take away from this. Through Gesture moving into the back line, which would not have been possible with Reinhardt. Because if it was Reinhardt, the camera position we've got right now with Prophet, like the Reinhardt would be, I don't know, I guess somewhere around here, maybe. Or he might even be slightly behind Prophet, but Prophet wouldn't be playing in front of the Reinhardt. That would be kind of stupid. So it'd be a more slower push. Instead, the Winston could take the high ground, and then it could start doing damage here with a Tesla cannon. Then it can jump in. It can start being disruptive. It really screwed up the positioning of Gladiators. Now, this means Gladiators now are like, oh, God, no, what's going on? We're just getting pushed back. Winston is all over the place. We don't know where he is. Prophet's just using Dragon Strike whenever because YOLO Dragon Strikes, who cares? Firing them through, and then they just push forward. Now, this means London have gained control of the streets phase when LA Gladiators were in a position to contest this, but they didn't. The reason why is London caught them off guard. This is going back to the DNA which runs through London. London is, it's not so much now, but when it was first formed, it was a hybrid of GC Busan and Kongdu Panthera. These were very aggressive Korean teams. And London, let's be real here. London, since stage 1, have been not that great. They've been okay. They've got good players, but what have they been doing, right? They've turned up in this series. Like, they've just literally gone, okay, stage 1 London activated, let's go. We remember who we are. We are aggressive. We are going to make the enemy think about what they need to do instead of just going like, let's just play out a plan. Oh, it's not working. Let's just stick to it. It's still not working. Let's just stick to it. No, they appear to be quite flexible, and they appear to be doing everything that needs to be done. I mean, hell, they're 5-0 up in this map right now. Anyway, let's focus on what's happening here, because Gladiators are getting aggressive and are getting ready to retake back this point. Now, there's a lot of ultimates being invested into this fight here. A little bit of a brawl breaking out, but what's happening is London is again taking the upper hand through the DPS plays and the tank play just being better than what LA Gladiators had at that time. It was pure sort of mechanical outplay there. There were ultimates invested on both sides. You'd say that on paper it was kind of even, or it should have been, but London managed to take that through. This is because Silk Thread's about to swap, right? I've got a problem with this. I really like Hanzo on this point of King's Row. I mean, I really like Hanzo on King's Row anyway, because he can just fire his... Like, what I like to see with Hanzo is... Well, it's not really what I like to see. It just is Hanzo, right? He's very good at spamming down chokes. This is a choke. That's a choke. This is a choke. There's just chokes everywhere. So Hanzo can just fire arrows all the way through this. The London Hanzo can do that. Also, you can climb up on the high ground if you like. You can go over here if you like. Get the high ground further back if you're the defensive Hanzo. This works the other way. If you're the defensive Hanzo, you can fire through this way, fire through that way, get the high ground. There's a lot of things you can do. Instead, Silk Thread throws the Dragon Strike and then swaps to Genji. I don't get it. I don't understand why he's done that. I think that's kind of a bad decision. Like, I really don't know why he's done that. Like, I mean, if any of you guys can maybe highlight why he's done that, I don't know. Like, that just, to me, seems like maybe he wants to go onto a Genji comfort pick, but it just doesn't really make any sense. One of the things which is slightly annoying with the position that's being taken up here by Gladiators is the main consideration right now for the Gladiators team is get back together, which they've done, then contest the payload, because we cannot allow London to push this payload, because look at the time. We are on 4 minutes and 26 seconds. London are pushing this payload. We're not stopping them. Our tanks need to get down here on the low ground, which he will do in a second, but I think he could have possibly got there a little bit earlier. So, see, they're still on the high ground. They are about to drop down. They drop down. Remix pushes forward. Now we've got it contested. That's exactly what they need to do. Of course, the problem is now that we're going to need to play around all of the London DPS in the back line. Remix goes in on a bit of a dive here to sort of push them back. You'll notice Prophet is now playing on the Brigitte as well, dropping the Hanzo, which, you know, like I said, the Hanzo pick, I think, does work really well on this point, but both the teams seem to have gone in a direction where they're like, no, we don't actually want the Hanzo because we're going to do something different. The thing is, the Brigitte is actually really good against Genji, right? So it's sort of like, yeah, okay, let's drop the Hanzo, let's get the Brigitte because we know it's going to be better against the Genji. But you can see Gladiators are winning this fight, or are they, ladies and gentlemen? Let's take a look at this, because this is a fight which is a very funky fight. So Gladiators have got 2 kills here. They've killed Birdring, they've killed Prophet. Gesture kills Remix, so they're 2-1 up, right? We've got Birdring dead, Prophet dead, Remix is dead. The rest of the Gladiators team are in, you know, pretty good position. Fury is almost dead, but he does have his bomb available, so he can get out of that mess if he needs to. But let's watch what happens here. As the fight's breaking out on the payload, Nus comes in with a res. That's actually a really huge res. But the reason why it's huge is he used the bubble from Gesture, so he didn't die. So let me just roll this back and show you again. So watch this. You see Gesture's bubble? Can you see him? He's using the bubble. That's actually, like, quite a nice play. I don't know whether he meant to do that. I think he's just gone in for the res because they have invested the... I guess they were pushed forward, so it was kind of safe to do so. Gesture just goes crazy in the back line there. And now London are being highly aggressive again. This is sort of... Like, I don't think there's any secret to the success London have had in this map. Like, I honestly think, like, when you look at it, is it a coaching mistakes? Is it team confidence mistakes? I just think London just thought, screw it. I think they just thought, screw it, whatever, we're just going to go for it. If that's honestly the case, then that's something they need to do all of the time. I mean, look at the players. They're so happy with themselves. Yeah, they've won 5 maps, right? So it's not like, we've had 5 bad games. It's like we're on the verge of going to the semi-finals. We're on the verge of redeeming ourselves. Look at them, right? And this actually is a huge thing with sports like this, because the other team is sitting right next to you. Look at Shaz there. Yeah, he's closest to the camera. He's like, get me out of here. Look at his face. He might not be thinking that, but his body language is saying everything. Look at Big Goose. Look at the rest of them. They don't look like they're there. They look like their heads are gone. I mean, Void, look at him. He's like, oh man. He's almost praying there, you know. Look at Shawful. He's like, just get me out of here. I'm gone. Like, this is the type of thing you want to see on the other team's face. I mean, Fury always looks like that, so whatever. Prophet is laughing. So you can see there's definitely a difference between the teams, right? There's definitely a confidence thing. But yeah, like, what is the secret sauce of London? Have they just decided to go, okay, whatever, we don't care. We're just going to go out and play the game? And that's what they've done, instead of going out saying, this is what we're going to do now, and then we do this, and we do this. I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know. Anyway, let's see what happens now on the defense. So London are set up with the defense that they used before. This is the Junkrat defense. I don't think I really need to pause it to highlight that, but we know what this is. We know what this defense wants to do. It wants to just spam you with Junkrat, get Riptire, and then blow you up while Widowmaker kills you in the back line. However, look at what LA Gladiators are doing. LA Gladiators know that London like to run Junkrat, don't they? They do. So if I pause this here, and then I ask you a question, guys, and then maybe you can try and give me an answer. Why would you run triple tank, triple support into a Junkrat comp when you know London will run Junkrat because they have every other point on this defense? In fact, Prophet always runs Junkrat. So what you're doing here is you're giving London a... Like, you are allowing them to charge their Junkrat up if you do not commit and smash into London. And what I mean by that is you rush into them. You cannot dilly-dally. You cannot wait because Junkrat will farm you for ultimate charge. Watch what happens. This is a like, I think this is just a confidence thing, right? So they're pushed through hotel. Okay, they're taking massive damage. Look at Profits. Look at Profits ult charge. You can see it, guys. 43%. That is mental, right? It's literally been 10 seconds of combat, right? It's on 66. It's crazy. They're pushing forward. This is now where a decision has to be made. This is where you have to go in. You've got London in the position you sort of want them in. You need to smash them. You need to go into them headstrong. You've just got to go in. Of course, Birdring's above just farming you, which is not great. Kills Shaz, which is not great because they've got no way of contesting the Shaz, contesting Birdring even. Then we just get this Riptide which goes in, and then boom. It doesn't do damage, but it pushes them back. Actually, really good off Remix there to toggle his shield up just in time to absorb that. And now we get into this sort of brawl. But what are the main differences here? What have happened? Firstly, Birdring is allowed to do whatever the hell he likes. Yes, he's dead, but he's been rezzed. He is standing here. Nothing is contesting him. He can just farm, farm, farm. This is a Widowmaker's wet dream. Think about what London did. London had a plan to go and harass the Widow, right? Gladiators have not done that. They've just gone for triple tank, triple support. Let's run to the point. Look at what's happening now. London are all on the point, apart from the Junkrat around the side and Birdring there. This is all of Gladiators with Brigitte there, yeah? I think there's one missing, but there's probably over here somewhere, right? Whatever, so it's mostly Gladiators. But what we're going to get is a big fight now on the point. This is what Triple Tank wants. Yeah, there's Shaz just coming back through. So now they're in a good position. But they're getting loads and loads of kills against them. And it is a bit weird, right? Look at that. They've just been totally wiped out because Junkrat has been allowed to farm, do massive damage, is already 50% again to another Riptire. Bdosin's been doing tons of work on the Roadhog. It's very hard for them to get through this. So they need to make changes. They've got to do something. It's not working for Gladiators. However, they're still carrying on with it. They're like, no, we'll just keep going. We've got the plan. We'll go for it. I mean, this here from Birdring is absolute troll behavior. He is. Let me just take a drink, guys. I'm going to choke again. Good news is it's now only 37 degrees in here. My God. Right. This here, he is standing on top of the goddamn statue, firing into Gladiators. What? I think you need your own Widow, Gladiators, to shoot him. The only option they've got is Void flying towards him, which I believe he does, but anyway, it just made me laugh. Right, so we're starting to get ultimates. Like this now is like what they want, Gladiators. They want this big sort of mess to happen on the point. They've killed Gesture. This is good. Nus is in an iffy position. I mean, if we look at Nus there, he's Guardian Angel out of that. We've got Big Goose over there, wall riding as you do. We've got Silk Thread there. And they're just sort of like, yeah, they're coming in, right? This is going to be exactly what they want. I mean, obviously with Coalescence being blasted through your team, you're probably not going to die. And then you can afford to be kind of steady. You can afford to be slower here. They need to be aware, though, of the Junkrat on the high ground because of this Riptire, which has just come in and caused them a lot of problems. But Gladiators still have pretty good positioning on the point, and they do have spawn advantage. Remember, on King's Row, you have massive attacker spawn advantage. Funny thing which happens here, ladies and gentlemen. So that's Prophet's corpse. Oh, no, what is this? Oh, no, Void. Oh, no. oh, dear. Oh, dear. Rip. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. They've captured the point. And then they can just go ahead and start cleaning up kills, or you would hope they would be able to do that, and they are. Void, Shore 4 actually on the Zarya doing work, which is good. Now, what we need to look at now is watch London. Watch what London do. Watch the swaps London make. So Birdring has gone to Hanzo. Gesture goes to the Monkey. Bdosin goes to the Zen. But what the hell are Gladiators doing? Right, Gladiators, we know they like these kind of off-the-wall strats. They are in the subway, and they make one crucial kind of mistake here. Now, normally Big Goose and Shaz, I mean, I'd say Big Goose and Shaz are probably one of the best support duos in the entire league. I don't know why they use Sound Barrier here. This is a very questionable use of it, because they're not really going to get too much out of it. One of the problems here, though, is Gladiators go super aggressive. Unlucky, he gets caught in a thing. I don't know what that graviton was from Shore 4 either. That was like total waste of the grav, but whatever. But look, they just sort of, it's like a crazy blood rush. Like they're just rushing in. It's mad. It's like they've gone so deep there that, yeah. And they've used two ultimates. they didn't really have to use. Like, let's just pause this and just show you. And I want to show you what's happened here. Who's dead from London? What have Gladiators done here? Well, they've used Grav and they've used Sound Barrier. Two of the longest charge ultimates in the game for nothing. I don't understand what they were doing. Like, that is a major problem. And, yeah, it's not great. All right, so one of the things they've got going for them now, as we pause this here, you are about to see a ridiculous Earth Shatter from iRemix, if memory serves. This is possible because London only have a Winston. And London have just dropped their barrier. You can see the barrier's just been dropped behind. This means now, as a Reinhardt player, it's go time. If you can land a Shatter, and look at this. Well, look at that. Let me just take a drink. Oh, my God. Oh. I'm trying not to choke and cough and die, and I'm also trying not to stop the recording all of the time and then edit it together because it would just be terrible. Although arguably probably better than me going, oh, I'm choking, ladies and gentlemen. Right, so you're looking for the Earth Shatter here, and he's got it. This is a fatty Shatter. This is just a beautiful, great tank play, and then London has sort of pushed back, and yeah. Now, London could have played that a bit better, I think. The problem is they had a Winston. Now, Winston isn't typically too great for contesting right there, especially with the enemy comp, with the comp that LA Gladiators are running, right? Whatever. I think they did kind of all right, but Gladiators did sort of outplay them there. Okay, so now we're looking at this phase we go into here, and London, like, they take the high ground, which is, again, pretty standard, just to see what's going on, and then there's sort of, you know... So, one thing I want to say as well, and I'm just going to pause it to say this, the camera work has been phenomenal in the playoffs. It's much better than it has been all throughout the league. It's so good. I think partly it might be to do with the fact that games being broadcast on ESPN and the Disney Channel. They've gone for more sort of, I don't know, wide-angle shots, maybe? Anyway... Let's look at this engagement. What's London's plan here? Well, it's dead simple. It's just invest the Riptire and then kill them. And that's what they did. And they're forced back, which is fine. We look at ultimate economies at this point because what generally happens is... so, to give you guys a bit of an insight in what happens with... when you engage the enemy team. So there's a plan, right? Somebody will call out the plan just before we engage them. So the plan there was to just basically dive them and use Riptire. It wasn't too complicated, and that's what London did. Now, you're looking at what's the next plan. What are we going to do now? What's the next ultimate combos we've got available? How are we going to fight the LA Gladiators push? And that's generally what will happen in the voice comms now. So it will be like, right, okay, we're going to use this ultimate, that ultimate, and then let's do it. Let's wait for them to come through. Nus gets a nice res there on Profit. Gesture's set up to get them with a Tesla cannon. Great position on here because as they come through, you can Tesla them with the Winston. Which is great. But it's also got Primal Rage, so they can go deep with that. So London's initiation plan here is just send Winston in, and then Primal Rage. So again, a dead simple plan. Don't use any other ultimates unless you absolutely have to. I almost choked there. Oh, God. In fact, I'm going to choke. Let me pause this and choke. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. I'm dying. Oh, Lord. Right, okay, go. So London invested 2 ultimates ultimately into that. But it doesn't matter because they pushed them back. They still have both support ultimates available. This means they can still deal with what Gladiators have got, and that is what this is all about. If you get grabbed, well, what can you do? You can use Transcendence because they're not really going to be able to burn through it with a Dragon Strike supercharged Hanzo ultimate because they don't have Hanzo because Silk Thread is on the Genji. Now, what we've got here is a super good change by London. And this isn't super good, but a good change by London is we've got Birdring on the Pharah. There is nothing to contest the Pharah. With them getting rid of the Hanzo, and they've just got... They've got nothing. Like, they cannot contest the Pharah, so the Pharah can just farm, and get fast ultimates. Again, we look at this. Now, I don't really want to hate on Shore here, but the Gravitons have been bad. The earlier Graviton, which was just, I don't know, fired into the subway, which was kind of random. And then this Graviton here only gets Gesture. That's a heavy, heavy investment there, because what we've got here is a Graviton and a Diva, so there is the combo where they've gone for the bigger bang combo. And... they've killed Gesture. What's this, though, ladies and gentlemen? This is a Prophet about to use barrage into your back line. It's not that effective, but it does kill the Mercy. Like, if you can kill a Mercy with a barrage, you take it, right? You see London then invest both, no, sorry, not both support ultimates, off a phase, invest Transcendence there and a Res. That's me going back into the past, like Res is an ultimate, it's not. But they do eventually use Valkyrie now. Transcendence finishes, then they use Valkyrie. So they are overlapping their ultimates. The reason why they're using all their ultimates is they know that Graviton has been used, right? The only thing is, they haven't accounted for the Blade. This must be just a simple basic mistake, because this is about to punish London very, very hard. They have no counter to the Blade. So if Silk Thread can get in and he can get an effective Blade, he's going to crush London. And this is what you're about to see. So London, you know, they're taking the fight. It's great. It's fine. Gladiators are pushing forward. London don't really have any control. This is now the signal to Silk Thread to go. He knows there is no... Well, Bdosin's actually gone to Ana, which he did play Ana throughout this series. On Lijiang Tower, he played a pretty mean Ana. Got a crazy sleep on Hydration's Doomfist. But anyway, he's gone to Ana because there is no point being Zen right now, because he's getting pushed in so heavily. He knows he can't really do too much with the Zen, and he doesn't have Transcendence, so he cannot stop the Genji Blade. Silk Thread knows this, and he's looking at this, and he's like, this is juicy. So what's he going to do, ladies and gentlemen? You're damn right he's going to whip the Blade out. Big Earth Shatter goes in, only gets Prophet, so not too big. Gets the kill on Prophet, then he tries to go to work on the supports. Now, unluckily, he doesn't really get the supports here, but he's done enough. It's pushed London away, and London then kind of do a C9, which is kind of ironic because, well, Cloud9 do own London Spitfire, and London Spitfire sort of C9. However, they probably wouldn't have held the point anyway. Gladiators were coming into the point and doing work. And this is what you want to see. You want to see your players happy. You want to see your players like, yes, let's do it. I'm happy. Now, okay, some players can be like Shadowburn from Philadelphia Fusion, who never smile, and that's fine, right? Some people are just like that. But you do want to see that type of... confidence like surge through your players, because all team games are confidence based. You have to be confident, as you will not get anywhere. Okay, so let's go forward now to the London defense. Now, LA Gladiators have got 2 minutes to attack. Remember, this is a time bank attack, so this means you don't get any additional time. That's it. You've just got 2 minutes, right? And I forgot that happened. That's pretty sad. So we're going to kill from Bdosin on Big Goose. Now, this is just luck, right? He's just fired a charged alternate fire Zen straight into the spawn, and it's killed the most important hero. So now Gladiators have to wait. It's good for London because this means there's extra 10, 15 seconds of them not being able to push. This is where it gets interesting, and this is where we're about to see really great play from Fury. So Shore4 has the Ana. Now, the reason why he's got the Ana out is because he's going to throw a nade. And this nade is going to go up into the air. Now, if any of you guys play CSGO, you'll know that there's spots where you throw flashbangs or you throw smoke grenades and all that stuff. This is essentially the same sort of thing, where you're looking up, you look for a specific point, you throw it, and you know where the grenade will land, because the grenade always travels at the same velocity. So, Shore4's plan is to throw the nade, but it's to wait to begin with, because let's just... Well, he throws the nade because the team were already ready to go. Let's just pause it here, because this is a beautiful way to pause it. So this shows you exactly what they're trying to do. So Shore4 on the Ana is throwing the nade off the screen up here, and then it's going to land here, hit the wall here, splash down onto everybody. Yeah, that's going to cause them to be purple, which means they can't be healed. As soon as that happens, this clump of players here with Remix on the Winston and Void go straight into this mess here. Pharah goes in, just whatever. Everybody fires damage into it. You can see the mess I've drawn on the screen. That means everybody is dead because London cannot heal. But wait a minute. Look at Fury. Where's Fury going? What's Fury doing, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, he's just flew up in the air and ate it with Defense Matrix. Uh-oh. So now Gladiators are like, right, let's just wait. We can't go in. Good call by Gladiators. They knew it was that, so they stopped the push. But again, this is all eaten into time. Remember, you don't get any additional time now, so anything you can do to waste time is really good for London. The thing is, London, I don't think have necessarily planned for the Pharah. Now, what we're going to see now is Gladiators actually execute quite a good attack. So Gladiators go in. You've got Pharah with the Winston. Winston giving Pharah space to work. Obviously, you've got the nice pharmacy combo on the go there, so Pharah shouldn't really die unless she gets popped by Birdring. But Birdring's been heavily pressured. He gets killed by a Remix. So Winston was really doing his job there to shut the Birdring down. Because if he didn't shut him down, like I've got to really stress, guys, if he didn't shut down Birdring, who has been playing out of his mind in this series, then he kills Silk Thread. And then they've got no damage. So that's great play by Remix. And now it's just sort of London are screwed. Everybody's getting battered. Everyone's getting smashed. Everyone's pushed into a corner. Great play by the tanks. All right then. So London Prophet somehow kills Silkthread, but he's just going to res him. I mean, what the? So London now have got to regroup, but remember, there's only 44 seconds left. And this is not going to change. See, escort the payload, 44 seconds. What Gladiators trying to do? Well, Gladiators are trying to get a cheeky kill. Unlucky there with Sure4. Like, if you managed to get the kill on Birdring there, it would have been nice. It would have been rezzed, but it would have been nice. Ultimate-wise, we're looking at things to end the game. London have got a game-ending ultimate here, a huge game-ending ultimate. Junkrat, when it comes to overtime pushes, is great. If he doesn't kill you with a Riptire, often it can force you to run off the payload and then you just lose anyway. So this is London's win condition. Now, I think I spoke last time in the OverAnalyzed between the same teams on the on the same point, where I said I was going to talk more about win conditions. I don't think I really have touched on it too much. I'm going to put it down to the heat in this room. It's killing me right now. But the win condition here is quite simple. So often, like, just to do a very basic recap, often what you would look for is you look for your engagement. So the first step would be you engage, you plan to engage, how you're going to engage, then obviously the engage happens. Then you're shot calling targets, you're trying to manage the fight as it's happening, you're monitoring enemy ultimate usage and all of that stuff. But before you get to point one, there is kind of like a point over here, which is the win condition. Like, what is the win condition? How do we win? How do we win this fight? Or how do we win the game? The win condition here is Riptire, just straight into the enemy team. Riptire, then dive. That's all it is. And by dive, it just means jump onto the payload, right? So we're going to use our Riptire, and then we're going to go in. Gladiators know this, and we're about to see a bit of beautiful mechanical skill from Silkthread on the Pharah. So watch Prophet. Prophet is getting ready to drop his Riptire. The team are getting close. He's going to do the old King's Road drive up the side of the building tactic, which every Junkrat does. Rest of London are just waiting, right? The reason why they're not hard engaging is they're waiting. The Riptire's coming in, right? Here it comes. Get ready. Let's see if I can pause it at the right moment. Just as the explosion happens, but look at this, right? This rocket that's exploded here will actually destroy the Riptire. But look at the Riptire. Riptire would have killed Mercy, and it would have killed Silkthread as well, because they're literally right next to each other. That would have ended the push, but watch this. Bang. Huge kill by Silkthread. This is one of those moments where now it's go time, right? It's just straight up down to Gladiators to outplay London. Problem is, Silkthread, rush of blood to the head, uses barrage, gets nothing for it, gets killed by Fury, and it's just slowly going out of Gladiators. Like, they're just losing control of this fight. Fury, a great diva bomb off him to sort of mess them up, but I don't know what, I really don't know what Silkthread was thinking with that ultimate. He almost threw his life away. So we go from like 0 to 0 in a few seconds. Obviously, it wasn't his fault entirely because, you know, a lot of things happen in an Overwatch team fight. But yeah, so let's skip this forward now and let's go to the London attack. So, very simple for London. They've just got to push forward to that point and they've got to take it. And this means they go through to the semi-finals if they manage to do it. Huge achievement by London. Like, everybody was writing them off. I was writing them off. Everybody was like, look at London. They had a great stage one and then they just sort of have petered out. They've just been mediocre. But they've got players that are good. Like, is it a coaching problem? Is it a confidence problem? Is it Koreans in the US problem? Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? But apparently they've worked it out because they've just come out like absolute... Well, it's like a barnstorm in performance. Right, let's pause and let's take a look at the team comps for, I guess, one final time on the attack. Look at London. Same comp they've used throughout. Same plan. Bdosin harass the Widow. Prophet, Birdring, kill their DPS. That's it, right? Gladiators have gone for their same single support comp as well on defense. So off we go. Let's see what's going to happen. Prophet's destroying, you know, bits of stuff in the cinema. I don't know why he's doing that. Maybe that's not nice, is it? Let's not do that. Prophet, that's disgusting. Have a bit of respect, son. Right, Bdosin's on the flank. We're going to see one beautiful adaptation here, and this is the Roadhog is flanking with Bdosin, which is kind of unconventional, but whatever. So now let's pause it, because what we've got here is, in fact, let's just go a little bit further. All right, let's go. What we got here is Void has spotted Bdosin. So he's like, guys, Tracer's behind. Then we've got Fury over there as well. So Fury's flanking, Tracer's flanking. There's an angle of fire. There's an angle of fire. Here's the rest of London going in. This is like, they have encircled the Gladiators, and this is not a good position for Gladiators to be in. So we start seeing damage getting poured into Gladiators. Gladiators have to respond here, and the only way to respond is to just get big kills. They get a kill on Birdring. That's huge. Prophet comes through with a kill, but... like right now, we're 2-1 on London's favour, right? So Silk to Gladiators' favour, which you would think means that Gladiators will take this point. The big problem is you have a massive Roadhog who is piling damage into you from behind. You have got a Tracer ready to pounce on you from behind. They are getting hit from every angle, and this is a massive problem. You don't want to get encircled, especially when you're playing with Orisa, because Orisa, as we see there, is just going to get killed. Orisa actually dropped the barrier down and tried to play with the barrier, but she can't, because in front, like, and this isn't iRemix being bad, and I just want to say it, there's been a lot of negativity for iRemix, and I don't think he's played that bad, right? Yeah, he's probably not as good as Fisher, possibly, and maybe there's more going on behind the scenes there, but yeah, he has played okay, but he was in an impossible situation. Prophet is in front. Prophet is on Hanzo. Hanzo deletes tanks. Behind him is Fury and where's the other one? Bdosin. He's trying to dance here with his shield. He gets killed. He was always going to get killed there. So this is a problem because they've burnt their res. Fury now can just drop down and do what he likes, gets loads of kills. Prophet is just Prophet is honestly just walking around and do what he likes. I mean, this is like, forget positioning. I'm just going to walk in and kill you. So that was like really disappointing there from Gladiators, but it's because Gladiators allowed London to flank. They were like, it's okay. You can get your Roadhog behind us. Now, the Tracer, you could argue, is a difficult one to swap. How do you stop Tracer getting in? You probably can't, right? She's just going to blink through. You have to spot her and try and get a, maybe a clutch kill on her or whatever. It's going to be difficult. Okay, let's take a look at what's happening here because this is really good. So Gladiators know they need to hold forward. So they're going to push forward and hold high. They're almost going to hold at the choke where the payload's going to move through the bridge, like just below Prophet. This is good. London, though, have ultimates to work with. You'll notice London, though, have pretty much swapped their entire team out. They have gone for... they've got Nus on the... Mercy. I think he was on Lucio for a while as well, and then he swapped to the Mercy. Bdosin's going to change to Zen. Birdring is on the Prophet. Birdring's on the Prophet. Birdring's on the Farah. Too many names, ladies and gentlemen. 38. It's 39 in it. I'm going to die. Let me just take a drink. My God. Appreciate the video. It could well be the last video. Oh, my days. Okay, so, and Prophet's got a Dragon Strike available. Fury goes to the Zarya. Now, I like this because I like Ryan Zarya and King Zarya. It's beautiful. LA Gladiators have changed up their comp as well. They're going for triple support with Genji. Okay. Slightly unconventional, but whatever. Let's see what happens. Watch Prophet. What they've done is they've just called the location of LA Gladiators. Look at this. They've called the location of them. They know they're holding close. So the win condition here is dead simple. How do we win this fight? LA Gladiators are close. Prophet is going to use his Dragon Strike from this angle. This is not necessarily going to kill them. Remember, LA Gladiators are like top professional players. They're not just going to stand there and die to a Dragon Strike like that. This isn't ladder. They're going to back off. What does the Dragon Strike do, though, as it comes through here? Well, it gives London the chance to just rush in. Look at Gesture. Gesture wants a fight, right? He's going to go in. Rest of London are going to slam into Gladiators. This is such a simple move, but it is the win condition. A lot of Overwatch tactics are generally quite simple. It's just about pulling them off. So watch this. Here comes the Dragon Strike from the side. Let's go. Dragon Strike's in. As the Dragon Strike comes in, watch London. Watch them. They push in. They gain position. It's so good. I mean, you could argue they could have gone a little bit faster there, but it doesn't matter because Birdring's getting kills, Fury's getting kills, and now there is a massive problem for Gladiators. They cannot contest this point. They've lost the game. At this moment here, London know they've won. Gladiators know they've lost. Shore4's swapping to, they're just swapping to heroes to get back fast to possibly try and touch. There is literally no way they can win now. What a turnaround by London. I can't even believe it. Like, we thought London were done. Everybody thought London was done. Yet they've just come out and just gone, no, we're not done, we're London. And then they've done this. Thing is, going into the playoff against LA Valiant, what's going to happen there? Valiant are a better team than Gladiators. So it's going to be a hard game for London. If this London turn up, well, I think they win the whole tournament, to be honest. But will this London turn up? It's the conundrum, isn't it? Why did they play like this? Let's work it out. It's so mental. However, Gladiators have been awesome. Remember, Gladiators finished 4th this season, which was huge. They've had very good performances throughout the season. They've been more consistent than London. They finished higher in the league than London. But this is a playoff scenario. This is knockout competition. It comes down to these single moments. Gladiators were in the lead, and I don't want to say they blew it, because I don't think they blew it, but London just came from another dimension. They were like, no, this is Overwatch, and this is how we're going to play it. Gladiators just could not deal with it at all. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then let me know what you think about it in the comments below. This has been Pro OverAnalyzed. It's where we go into more detail on pro level games. We will do more games from other teams as well. Obviously, I wanted to do this because it's kind of like the redemption arc storyline, isn't it? It's London, we're on the ropes. Can they come back? It's an English team in name. So usually we just fail. England does. I mean, look at the World Cup and all of that. Although London Spitfire, don't you dare go out in the semi-finals. All right, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, then, you know, let me know everything and all that good stuff and whatever. I'm dying because it's now probably like 50 degrees and I'm going to die. I'll catch you on the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, toodaloo.